Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Chad J. Gibson, and today I'm going to be talking a bit about philosophy. Or rather, I'm going to be talking about a certain part of philosophy, a rather scary but interesting part, but a part that I thought I'd share with you nonetheless. Today, we're going to be talking about the Hegelian Dialectic. I'm going to explain where it comes from and what it means and how it impacts you and me. Let's do this. The Hegelian dialectic was named after a German philosopher named Friedrich Wilhelm Hegel. I won't go too much into his philosophies, but he spoke a lot about the relationship people have, sort of master and slave relationships, and the nature of being and so on. But I'm not going to go into that today. What I'm going to be talking about is the Hegelian dialectic itself. So, when it comes to this lovely bit of philosophy, it's quite revealing. What it basically stands for is problem, reaction, solution. And this is something that the lords and ruling class of the world have always used to control the masses. It's something that's commonly used, I'm sure, even today. It's basically the language that those who want to control you are going to use to control you while making you think that you are in control. So the first step is the problem. Those that want to control you are going to either create a problem, or they're going to make a problem that's already in your society a lot worse than what it is. And they do that by step 2, the reaction. The reaction is where they show you the problem. So think of it as the media reporting on a big problem that's going to cause a lot of issues for you and your country and your people. That is the reaction. What they're doing is they're waiting to see the public's reaction. What they want is the public to react and the public to ask, whatever will we do to solve this problem? And then comes step 3. Solution. That is when the ruling class, the people in power, decide to give you a solution. And this part they might have already thought of before even the problem began. See, if it was the case where they created the problem, then they already know the solution to the problem. And the solution often benefits them more than it benefits you. So there you have it. Problem, reaction, solution. One of the most well-known examples of this is probably what happened in Nazi Germany. You see, the problem was that they needed everyone to unite. They needed Germany to unite, that there was a common evil enemy, and so they found a problem. You see, the German people were already somewhat resentful of the Jewish people, because it seemed that they had wealth when Germany was struggling. So, all they had to do is demonize the Jews, and after that, they had their problem. The Jews were their problem. So, what they did then is create a reaction. So, they started to spread propaganda. Once propaganda started to spread, it created a reaction in the general population. They had issues, and it was a growing anger in these people. And so they gave them a final solution. I don't think I need to go into what their final solution was, but you can kind of see what happened here. They created a problem. People united against that so-called problem, and they gave them the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem for them was more control. They were able to do that and gain more control over everyone's lives because why not? That's what they wanted. They wanted more control. So here's a very interesting quote that might help you see what I'm trying to say here with this philosophy, if you haven't already guessed what I'm trying to get at. This quote was from former commander-in-chief of the National Socialist Luftwaffe, Hermann Göring. Why? Of course the people don't want war. Why should some poor slob on a farm want to risk his life in a war when the best he can get out of it is to come back to his farm in one piece? Naturally, the common people don't want war. Neither in Russia, nor in England, nor, for that matter, in Germany. That is understood. But after all, it is the leaders of the country who determine the policy, and it's always a simple matter to drag the people along. Whether it is a democracy or a fascist dictatorship, voice or no voice, the people can always be brought to the bidding of the leaders. That is easy. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked, and denounce the peacemakers for their lack of patriotism and exposing the country to danger. It works the same in any country. So of course there he's talking about war. So it's a little different. But think about this whole idea, problem, reaction, solution. Where do you think it could be used in, I don't know, events other than war? Perhaps terrorism, perhaps disease. Who knows where it can be used? All you need to do is create a problem or make a problem worse than it is. Then tell everybody about it, get the public to react, to become fearful, and then give them the solution. Now the question is, my question to all of this, how often do you think our leaders, our people in power have used this Hegelian dialectic? How often indeed? Of course, I could name a couple that seem somewhat suspicious, but I'm not going to, because that would be conspiracies, and I don't think that's quite allowed on this platform. But I think you can think for yourself. There's been a number of events throughout our lives that were somewhat world-shaking, that was somewhat big, shall we say. After each one of these events, ask yourself, who stood to benefit? Who got more power? And who lost more power? Every time something big happens in the world, it seems like it's always one way. More security, more control, more power to those in power, and less control, less power to us, the common, normal people. It's an interesting thing to think about, and it's an interesting thing when you look at history. Now, of course, I'm not saying that anything was lies or anything was truth. I can't prove any of that. All I'm saying is maybe next time there's a big emergency or something big happens that the media wants you to see, question it. Question all of it. Don't think for 1 second that those in power only have your best interest in mind. I'm sure there are some that do, but there are some that only want power, and they will do whatever they can to get that power, no matter what it takes, no matter how much fear they need to instill in your life, they will do it. And then, once the chains are too tight and you can barely breathe, you'll have nowhere to go, and you'll have nothing to do but their bidding. I feel we are slowly slipping down that road. I know it sounds extreme. I know it seems like, well, no way. There's no way we could go so far that we'd have some dictatorship or some insane controls and slavery and so on. But, you know, those things didn't just start. None of that's just started. It wasn't just one day everything was normal and then the next we had fascism, communism, all these crazy ideologies that completely want to control your life. No, it was a slow process. It was one little step after another. And I truly do wonder how many steps we are away from that. Anyway, that's the Hegelian dialectic. A bit of creepiness for your night or day, whenever you're watching this. Either way, it's worth thinking about. That's all from me. My name is Chad J. Gibson. Please do like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of this video, and if you have any ideas of how those glorious people in power have used the Hegelian dialectic. That's all for me. Oh wait, that's not my outro. I always get the outro wrong these days. So that's all for me, and I will most certainly see you on the next one. Goodbye.